rest your hands on your knee. Lengthen your spine. Lift your heart and drop your eyelid. Gradually bring your attention back to your breath. Breath flows in, filling. Breath flows out, emptying. Bring your attention at the roots of your tongue. Relaxed. Notice the moisture in your tongue. Food in the belly and the floor underneath. Space above. Notice the temperature of the room. Now to this all awareness, let's begin this practice with 3 Om. Take a deep breath in through the nostril. Open mouth, HA. One more time. This time, Om. Bow down in front of you towards the ground. Relax your entire body. Feel your spine. Relax your facial muscles. Welcome the gravity in your body. As you inhale, back to center. Each breath in, reach your arms over your head. Each breath out, hands to heart, around your back, tuck your chin. Breathing in, arching, looking up. And when you breathe out, hands to heart. Reaching up. Little deeper breath. Little slower, mindful breath. This time reaching all the way up high. And then one hand's on the side, other arms over, and just circling this upper arms. We are trying to awake every part of our limbs, body, gradual warming up, so that when we find our peak poses, like a standing up pose, spinal twist. Each exhalation, try to twist more. Noticing any part of your vertebrae is tired or complaining. With the deep breath, try to breathe into the twist. Back to the center, hands up high, reaching all the way up. And then other side is spinal twist. As you inhale, back to the center, hands up high, reaching up. And then bow down in front of you. I bow to the divinity. I bow to the gravity. And slowly back, sit up tall. Next step, inhaling, reaching up, arms up, engage your belly. As you exhale, one by one, both hands down and draw a big circle in front of you. And align your spine, reaching up. That was one round. Continue 2 more rounds. Slow, deep breath. And try to feel your entire body. Find any part of your body you like to stretch with modifying. Now opposite direction, 3 rounds. 3 is a good number. Odd number. Hands to heart. Next step, hands and knees. 4 hands. Both hands under your shoulder. And both knees under your hip. Spread the fingers, press your middle palms. Equal weight on 4. Then inhaling to cow stretch. Go asana. Into Bidala Marjarasana. Chin up, happy cow, happy spine. Chin tuck, awakened cat. Big belly, breathe into and squeeze your belly. Tailbone tilting up when you look up. Tuck the tailbone when you look down. With the arching of the spine in both directions, massaging the internal organs in your belly area. Tuck the toes in into downward facing dog pose. Looking at the toes, paddling, bending one knee at a time, shifting weight on your left, on your right. Downward dog, take the dog to the walk by paddling. Shaking and nodding head, relaxing neck and shoulders. Ready? Inhale to high plank, flat your back, hold for 1 breath. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, downward facing dog pose. Make sure you're pressing your middle palms and all the knuckles of the fingers. Safety for the wrist. Inhale for high plank. Exhaling to low. As you inhale, rising from there, chin, chest up. And then hands and knees to downward facing dog pose. Shaking head and nodding head again. Rest your knees on the floor. Inhaling to cow stretch. Exhaling to cat. Open your knees at least hip distance apart and then kneeling, standing on your knee and swing shoulders, arms. Movement of the shoulders like a backward swimming. Gently backward bending, arching. Engage the core, expand your chest. Opposite direction. We are preparing for our Ustrasana, camel pose. Now, sweep your hands behind, around the back. Sweep your arms up and chin up too. Cactus opening arms out. Excellent. One more time. Sweeping back. Sweeping up. Opening arms out. Last time on your own. This time bring your hands out. Rest your hands on your back, lower back. And then with the supported by hands, find some wonderful stretch. Gradually, slowly return into Balasana, child pose. Meditate on the sensation. Meditate on your breath. Now, slowly return. Hands and knees to downward facing dog pose. Press the heels on the mat, one at a time or both at once. As if you are a mountain, your hip is the top of the mountain. Mountain pose, Parvatasana, or downward facing dog pose. Right leg up high over the hip, lifting up tall, and then bend your upper knee, right knee. Find some stretch of the hip, as if downward dog and three-legged dog, and dog is about to pee. And then back to paddling. Now other side, left leg up high over the hip. Straight your both knees as much as possible. And then bend your upper knee now, left knee. Open hip, hip stretch, hip opening. Imagine your knee is pointing towards the ceiling. And then slowly back to paddling. Rest your knees on the floor. Inhaling to cow stretch, go. Exhaling to cat, Bidal. Looking behind through the left shoulder so that you can see your both heels. And looking through the right shoulder, same. Once more, looking through the left. And then looking through the right. This time, right hands under your nose in the middle of the mat. And other arms over your head, spinal twist. Look up, look down, looking up and looking down. Movement of your neck, thoracic spine. As you exhale, scoop the upper body on top of the mat, resting shoulder and head down. Find some couple of breaths there. Notice where the twist you can feel. All the chakras in your spine, they're all spiral twisted. All the 26 vertebrae, they're all being stretched and twisted. As you inhale, now return. Press your hands both equally. Movement of your backbone to find some neutral and ease. Now other side. Other arms up high, reaching up. Make sure the left hand is in the middle of the mat, under head. Neck movement so that no tension. As you exhale, scoop the upper arms under your body, rest on the floor. Your breath is your best friend. Listen. Spend some time. As you inhale, slowly return. Hands and knees. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. Into downward facing dog pose. Chaturanga Vinyasa, high plank, engage your core. Lower your body halfway, rising from there, upward facing to downward facing dog pose. Your feet are hip distance apart and you can see the toes clearly. Right leg up high over the hip. With the momentum, step forward, swing it in front of you, place it in between your hands, and then sweeping hands behind, sweeping arms up, low lunge. Opening gently, looking up. Hands down on the mat, either side of the foot. Let's return to downward dog. By pedaling, notice the sensation between two legs, differences. Inhaling for high plank, knees on the floor, chin and chest on the floor. Sastanga. Now lie down on the floor totally. Press your hands gradually, lift your upper body slowly, up, up, up. See how high your lower back naturally moves. That much. And then hands and knees to child pose. Through the child pose, downward facing dog pose. This sequence known as Vinyasa sequence. Let's do the left leg now. Up high over the hip with the momentum. Step forward. So spontaneity, like continuous flow. And give the weight to your feet and sweeping hands behind. And sweeping arms up high. The lunge can be high, low, middle to find the arch of the back, stretch of the underarms. Widely open your arms out. Hands down. Return to downward facing. Breathe. Catch your breath in downward dog. Chaturanga or Sastanga. Sastanga means you rest your knee, lowering, highering, and then downward facing. Walk your hands towards your feet at the back of your yoga mat, not in the front, back of your yoga mat, standing forward fold. Your hands are free. You can rotate your wrist. You can sway your arms, entire weight on your legs and equal weight on both. You can slightly bend your knees and relax your lower back more. You can stretch your legs and stretch some more. Happy toes, happy fingers, happy breath. Inhaling halfway, look up. Ardha Uttana, flat your back. Exhaling, fold. Roll up, slowly bending knee gently. Curl up, stand up. Tall, tall as a mountain pose. Palms facing out. Close your eyes, pull your head back a little bit. Adha Asana. Be still like a statue. Right now our body is still, but within the body nothing is still. Blood is flowing. Heart is beating. Breath is moving. And so on. All right, open your eyes, sway your arms side to side. Moving your arms, releasing any stillness. Sun salutation. Let's salute the source of our life, source of our life force, source of energy in this solar system. Inhale, reaching arms up, look up. As you exhale, open your arms, stretch the solar plexus, and then swan dive down. Inhaling halfway, look up, flat your back. Exhaling, full fold. Walk your hands away from your feet in front of your mat to find a plank. Hold for one breath. Don't hesitate to breathe deeply. Lower your body. Rise your upper body. And then meeting in downward facing dog pose. Walk your feet towards your hands. In between your hands, standing halfway, look up, lift your heart. Exhaling, full fold. Reverse the dive, reaching up, and gentle backward bending. Hands to heart. I bow to the sun, which is a million miles away from here. Second round, arms up, engage your belly. Looking up towards the fingertips And then swan dive, tuck your chin, looking towards the toe tips. Hands down, meeting hands and feet. Inhaling, halfway look up. Exhale, left leg behind the back on the mat, fingertips on the floor. You are not giving the weight on your hands yet. In a chaturanga comes in the hands weight. If you can lift entire weight on your legs, that's the wonderful idea. Sweeping hands behind, sweeping arms up, looking up towards the fingertips. Widely open your arms out, hands down, gaze down to downward facing dog, looking at the toes. In the lunge, you were looking up, now you're looking down. The gaze is shifted, hands to feet, feet to hands. Inhale, chaturanga, gaze on your hands, lower your body, and then upward facing dog, you gaze towards the ceiling so that your neck gets stretched, hands and knees, and then child pose. As long as you need this child pose to rejuvenate your body, to restore the energy and restore from exhaustion. Very quick way to find, energize the body in child pose. Anytime in yoga class, anytime you needed extra love and care, just go to child pose. Now, let's go and resume our sun salutations. Hands and knees to downward facing dog. Left leg up high over the hip, stretching tall, and step forward. That momentum help you actually to step in between your hands. Let's try one more time. Same left leg behind, up in the air, and step forward. See, that help you. If you find a rhythm and momentum, it's easily you can step in. Otherwise, you can find a little scoop and hands and foot are parallel. Sweep your hands behind, sweeping arms up high. Gazing up and widely open your arms out. Gaze down. And then bring the back leg to the front. Standing forward fold. Check in with your nail. Maybe you need to cut your nails or polish them. Inhaling, halfway look up. Exhaling, release. Bend your knees slightly and arms out. Stand up easily. Reaching up, gentle backward bend. Hands to heart, where the home is. Classical sun salutation we did. Now let's do the sun salutation B. Hands on the side. Inhale, reaching arms up, Urdhva Hasta Asana. Look up, gentle backward bending. Widely open your arms up. Here, bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee more into chair pose. Hands until your hands touches on the floor. This is the ideal lower we are like trying to find so that gluteus engages, your back engages, arches, thighs, and entire lower body is totally engaging. Now sweep your hands behind and sweep your arms up. Chair pose. Easy on your neck and shoulder. Straight your knee, gently open your arms to swan dive. There you go. We are doing sun salutation B. Inhaling, halfway look up. Lift your heart. We have two options, either hop back or walk back to find a plank. After here, move on. Low or all the way low, or hanging halfway or lifting all the way upper body, and then gradually Downward facing dog pose. Remember, you are here on the mat to take care of yourself. It's a wonderful way, self-care, yoga. To take care of yourself is a first responsibility because you owe to the body. You owe to the body some stretches, some breath. Right leg up in the air towards the sky and step forward in front of you. Reaching hands all the way up high, high lunge. In downward facing dog, your heads and hands were on the mat. Your hands were on the mat, head was lower than heart. Now, just reverse it. While you open your arms out, hands on the floor, moving back. In sun salutation, you flow. You flow like a minute to minute, second to second. Inhaling for high plank, low plank, rising from there, and moving to downward dog. Let's wait for everyone in downward dog, so everyone is catching their breath. When we are all together, let's continue the journey. Left leg up high over the hip. Step forward in between your hands. Reaching your arms up high. Arching your back to look up. And widely opening arms out. Hands down to the ground. Meeting in downward facing dog pose. This is our sun salutation B. Inhale for high plank. Knee, chest, chin, sastanga. This is options. Or you can do chaturanga. Rising from there easily. And let's meet in downward facing dog pose. Connect to your body. In the body, there are inner net. All the nervous system, nerves, every part of your muscles and bones, connected with the inner net. When we are disconnected through the internet, it's hard to practice virtual class. Same way, when you are not connected through your inner net, the network of nervous system. Walk your feet or hop in between your hands, two options to find a standing forward fold. Rotating wrist or swaying arms. This kind of detour, little break, little movement, little mindfulness. Bend your knees and sweep your hands behind the chair pose. Bend your knees, keep bending your knees, hands up high. Utkata asana. Straight your knees, gentle open your heart, and then hands to heart. That was sun salutation B. All this okay. Totally relaxed. Return to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Return to your breath with the deep breath in and out. Reaching arms over your head. Gentle stretch. Little twist, bend your knees, and little stretch. Roll over towards your right side, supported by your hand. Arms that are tall into seated posture. Sitting nice and tall. Join your hands in front of your heart. Let's share one Om and three Shanti. The Om is the sound of the consciousness in vowel. So we will create Om, three sound. Two vowel, one consonant. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Santi.
Namaste.
Santi.